So Mackenzie, not gonna lie, you talked to a pretty big guest this week.
Yes, I got the one and only Megan Rapinoe. We talked about some of the projects she's got going on with Smirnoff supporting Black-owned small businesses. We talked about her relationship with Sue Bird, and of course, equitability fight for women's sports in America. So take a look. How important is this opportunity for you and Smirnoff and the Sidebar partnership to support a cause like this?
I mean, it's really cool. I talk all the time, and I try to do this in my own life, of what can you do to make a difference every day, whether you're an individual, whether you're a brand or a company or whatever. So to be able to bring a global brand like Smirnoff together with a Black female-led business, it's just a really fun and creative way to continue to, like I said, show visibility and continue to make the world just a little bit better every day.
I love that. I'm very curious, now that you and Sue have been in quarantine together, has this been the most time you guys have actually spent together at one time? I feel like your schedules are super busy.
I mean, by an infinite number. It's like normally this is us, like ships in the night, passing each other. I mean, that's been literally, one of the only really great things about this whole last 2020 and honestly it's still leading into 2021 is being able to spend so much more time with each other, not having to travel nearly as much. We get on each other's nerves just a little bit. We have our little bickers, but overall it's been something that's really special. Honestly, we probably won't have this time until we're like way older and far retired from all of our work.
And as you know, Sue's a legend from UConn. What's it like to watch someone like Paige Beckers and other young female superstars emerge?
These kids are so incredible. They're playing at such a high level. And I think, Sue and I talk about this all the time. We work so hard to leave the game in a better place. And we feel like, these kids coming in are just going to completely blow the mold and blow the ceiling off the whole thing. They'll be the ones getting, the multi-million-dollar endorsements. And I think we'll all be super happy for them. But it's just exciting to see, such young talent and honestly, just all the talent in the tournament being put on display like this and being able to show up and show out the way that everybody knows they can.
Yeah, I'm honestly glad you brought that up because it's crazy to me that a TikTok brought light to a weight room situation with the women's NCAA basketball tournament. I'm curious what your thoughts are on just social media. Do you think it's helpful in today's day and age that, people have to turn to social media for that? What do you think that says about, society that we have to go to TikTok?
I think so often with discrimination and with disparities, especially in sports, it's like you don't know it until you see it. And you don't, we could hear that, okay, there's differences in the weight room and the weight rooms look different at the tournament, but seeing one rack of dumbbells and seeing an entire, freaking LA Fitness being like erected behind, it's like the visual of it, I think is really important. So I think especially for social movements and for people who don't have the grips of power, whether that be, the media or huge platforms, I think it can be an incredibly powerful tool.
Did that resonate with you at all and kind of what you had to personally go through with U.S. women's soccer?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we talk all the time about, we talk about equal pay, and I think the compensation and the salaries are, sort of the clickbait in it. But really what we talk about all the time is the funding, the resources, the allocation put towards that, whether that's branding and marketing. I mean, we've seen more than just the weight rooms at the NCAA tournament. The floor says women's basketball or like women's well, no shit. Of course we're watching women's basketball. Everybody knows this. Like it's March Madness. Like March Madness is the branding property that everybody knows, and that has value. So you are withholding value from the women's tournament for what? Like why don't you want both tournaments to succeed? All of this stuff matters. It matters the way that it looks when you turn on the TV, because you know what it looks like to look professional. You know what the men's tournament's looking like. You know what an NBA arena looks like. So when you turn on women's sports and we're given a subpar platform to play on, that doesn't then signal to the viewer that this is an elite sport or this is an elite team. And so it all matters. It's not just about the dumbbells. It's about, the whole kind of system and how men are systematically propped up over women time and time again.
I do want to briefly talk about the Draymond Green tweet, so I'm glad you brought that up. I know he recently posted about equal pay in the WNBA, and he essentially said it was on the WNBA and businesses to promote Expose the Stars, and kind of took it off guys. I think Sue said it best to him. She said, "You got the problem right. You tagged the wrong people." But what I want to know is, I mean, where do you think that mindset was coming from? And ultimately, how would you identify the problem in reaching equitability?
I think his mindset probably honestly was in the way that he does things and the way that men are able to do that. We are not able to, believe me, I've asked. I've asked for funding. I've asked for more salary. I've asked for, better accommodations. I've asked for better travel. I've asked for more stories to be told. Believe me, I've asked for all of these things. We've all asked for all of these things. I think it comes, from a place of not, frankly, being educated enough, of being in an entity like the NBA that's been around for 75 years. They're a fully matured business that, by the way, have gotten a lot of funding and resources on the ground level. It's not like the Bill Russells of the world were just like, hey, give us the money. Like those players fought for equality, and those players fought for equity in the game to be able to get to this point where, yes, of course, we know LeBron's story. Of course, people are investing money in that. Why aren't they investing in the women's game? That's really the most important question. So I don't think he was ill-intentioned. I think he was very much ill-informed. I would encourage him to educate himself much more. And I would encourage him to think about it in the greater social context of, we are out here trying. We've asked these things. That's kind of how discrimination works. As with all social issues, you can't just rely on the people that are being oppressed, whether it's racial issues or gender issues or sexuality or women in sports. We need allies, and we need all people to get in the fight to start to break down so many of these discrepancies and these disparities for us.
Hey sports fans, if you want to see more videos like this, check out some of our other ones right here. And if you like what you see, make sure to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more from USA Today Sports.